Hi, welcome to Creative View Yarn Shop. My name is Catherine Kirby, and I was doing a podcast and I got interrupted by those delightful people called customers. But I did want a chance to give my view on what has been happening on Ravelry. On the podcast, I was talking about this game that my husband and I were playing called Try Bond. They give you 3 things or 3 people, and then you have to list the commonality. It's usually one word. So here's one: the Hulk, the shrinking woman, and the edible egg. And the answer is they were all incredible. The incredible shrinking woman, I guess the incredible edible egg, and the incredible Hulk. Now I know that my name, Catherine Kirby, doesn't belong in there. I know that. I know that I don't belong. Just like Buster Crabbe, Tracy Hawkins, Mark Spitz, all swimmers, Olympic gold medalists. That'd be ludicrous to put my name in there. I know that. I was thinking today about when I was a child. I went to school down the street. My mom and dad had 5 children. Money was scarce, and the 2 little ones were babies. And even though they sold candy at recess, I never had any money to buy candy. And there was a girl, I'll keep her nameless, who always had money to buy candy. And of course, she would get this little gathering of fans around her, and I would always go and stand there. And she would share candy. And she would look at me and say, "Well, I'm not giving you any because you never give me any." You know, and I still remember that hurt because I thought I was like part of all the kids getting the candy. And she would buy a lot of candy, not just a few pieces, big bag full of candy. And back then, you know, candy was pennies. If you had $1, you could get 100 pieces. But I still remember that hurt of thinking I belonged and being excluded. I remember when I first met my husband, his wife had died, and his friends, some of them, they just weren't really happy about me. And anyway, we went to a wedding, and when we got there, it was a wedding reception outdoor. My husband said, "Hey, I'm going to go with the guys and have a beer." I said, "Okay." So I walked up to a small group of some of the women in his group of friends, and when I went up and stood, they turned away. Yeah, it hurt. It hurt. When you think that you're part of a group and you find out that you're not welcome. So let's talk about bigotry. We use the term, do we really know what it means? Bigotry is a person that's utterly intolerant of someone because of different beliefs, different race, different creeds, different whatever. They're totally intolerant. So here's the kicker. I thought that I belonged to Ravelry. I guess along the last year or so, there were a couple wake-up calls. I remember when there was a very hateful Trump project, and I wrote to the designer and said, "Yeah, this really makes me sad. I mean, this is a website about knitting. It's, you know," and she wrote back and said, "Whatever made you think this is not a political website?" So I got my disinvitation. You know, we love everybody, love, 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 but then they're saying half of America are undeniably white supremacists and cannot put any of their views. And meanwhile, go to Patterns and put in Trump, and you will see horrible things. Okay, let's just suppose your child comes home and says, "Mom, I really, really hate my teacher. I hate my teacher." And you say, "Let's knit a voodoo doll of your teacher, and we'll put pins in it, and other moms can knit them." One mom says, "Oh, we'll make a slam doll of this teacher." And one says, "Hey, we'll make his butt and we'll turn it into toilet paper." Do you get it? That's not what we teach our kids. We don't teach them name calling. We don't teach them disrespect. If there really is something that the principal did against our child that was hateful, yes, it has to be addressed. But otherwise, we have to support the administration of the school. We have a school board. We can voice our complaints. Okay, enough said. After I get my patterns printed out and all, I will no longer be a Ravelry member, really by their choice. And sad, and it's a sad witness to other countries and other people, news stations that says this is crazy. Like, what brought this on? I did talk to the owners of 4 yarn companies, 3 of them in person on the phone, and they kind of said, well, we're not into hate. Well, you know what? It's not about that. It's about our free speech being taken away, that our forefathers fought for, that my husband fought a war for, our freedom of speech being taken away just like that. And this could be the tip of an iceberg. Who knows who will follow? So feel free to agree or disagree with me. I'm exercising my freedom of speech. Signing out. Catch you later. In love, Catherine Kirby.